Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Locker Room. Well, I said we got lots of interesting guests, and I'm not going to be outdone right now. And we should remind you that we have a special guest. We're not going to tell you who, from the BC Lions in the later part of our show. So stay tuned. Don't touch that. But without any further hesitation, right now, we have a couple of very interesting gentlemen that have appeared on our show, and we know what they've done in the past. Dennis Crawford is on my far immediate left. Gaston Howard's in the center. First off, gentlemen, welcome to the show. Looking and reading your bio was very, very instrumental in what you've done. Gaston, for example, a North American light heavyweight champion, Canadian middleweight champion. First off, a lot of people at home, how did you get started from the first place?
I took karate as a young kid. I guess about 10 years old when I started karate, and from that I didn't really do too much through my teenage years. And then as I got about 20, I started at Dennis's club, and Dennis raised me up through it, and got into it and started competing. Now
it says your titles BC middleweight, Pacific Northwest, so you don't only just compete in our own Lower Mainland, you go south of the 49th as well?
Not so much. They bring the fighters up here for us.
Oh, you're spoiled then.
Well, you know, not too bad, not too bad. But I would like to travel. The traveling is nice, you know.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Now, Dennis, we've done different shows together,
yes,
and we've several ones over the time. You're a little guy with an awful lot of bulk. You work out at Gators Gym all the time.
I sure do, yeah. I feel it's one of the best gyms in the Lower Mainland.
And
with some of the best people.
Yeah, they do. Now, we were talking earlier on, and I don't think we have a chance to get you down there to do it, but if we can get that microphone off, because you told us that Gators Gym are going to offer a special for anybody that happens to call in and wants to take out a membership.
Yes, they are. They're going to offer a year special for one simple task. Okay, all you have to do is one push-up.
But there's a catch to it now.
But there is a catch to it.
Okay, and if we can get the luxury of doing that.
Okay, we'll take this off.
We'll get you to take that off, and while you take that off, Dennis, for a lot of people that are not familiar with him, Dennis, World Karate Kickboxing Champion, Kickboxing Hall of Fame, so this young man over here, and I can say that young man, and I use that term very honestly because...
Thank you, sir.
I have to, but now, if we can get Dennis
down... Can I have some space down here?
We'll get you down and on the floor, and Dennis can do this, but watch, because if you think it's simple, it's not. Now,
okay,
it's going to be quite...
By the way, this doesn't apply to members that are already...
Yeah, no members, no members. This is
members.
for new recruits only, as we call it, right? Okay, now this is quite the thing. Now, maybe you can do it up here, Dennis, right on It's a little bit easier for you, I think, and not so far for you to fall down to the bottom floor. Now, there's a secret to this. Watch Dennis. Now, a simple push-up is real simple, okay? But watch, you've got to spread your arms out. And once again, this is real simple. You can phone in. Thumbs only for push-ups. Okay, now if you think that's not simple, I tried it, forget it. There is no way. I will not do it. Thumbs only push-ups. Dennis can do more than one. I know that because he goes out and works out every day of the week.
And Dennis,
of course.
All you have
to do is one.
Of course, because Dennis is a pro, he makes it look easy.
Well, yeah, but it's fun.
Yeah.
We talked
That's why I got him with me.
You have to. But talk about kickboxing. A lot of kids are getting into it now at a young age, and there's more and more people getting involved in the martial arts per se.
Definitely, I feel it's the sport of the 90s and the sport of the future. I think every parent should get their young fellas involved and the daughters involved as well.
And now, besides doing all this, as we know, because we've had different people on our shows, for both of you, you've both become involved in the last little while doing different stunts for movies. And that's got to be a nice feeling for.
Yeah, the stunt industry is it's a great industry. The movie industry in general is really great. Lots of good people, lots of good atmosphere, but it's a tough industry to break into. It's not a thing that everybody wants to do. You know, go out risking your life, breaking your neck all the time. You got to give a lot of respect to the guys that are doing it, because it's a tough industry. But to get into it and to do it, if that's what you like to do, it's really great.
Okay,
really
you've got to be in top physical shape. We know Dennis
yeah.
does an awful lot of working out on a regular basis. Yourself?
Of course. Oh yeah, I work out at the Gators as well. The background in the martial arts really helps to choreograph fight scenes and such and forth. I don't do the choreographing myself, of course, but a lot of the guys that are in the industry, Tony Morelli and Ernie Jackson, they have a background in the martial arts, and these guys are really good people to work with.
How many hours a week would you work out?
Ideally, I would like to be in the gym 5 days a week.
You
but
take a couple off?
With work and with everything else, you know, it really works out to about 2-3 days a week.
Yeah, long hours though when you're working out.
Yeah.
Okay, upcoming matches you've got?
I got a world title coming up.
Where at?
I'm not exactly positive on the location of this. They're always kind of different. They always change them around a
We'll
little
probably
bit.
be in the Vancouver area, I would think. We're probably be fighting a guy from Spokane named Dave Fowler. He's the reigning champion around that area. It'll be for a WKC championship.
Now a lot of people, you go for the kickboxing. Is it foot, or you wear pads covering your feet, or how do they work for the sport?
Well, we don't like to wear pads. You see, it hurts more if you get hit without a pad, and we kick with the shins, so we're kicking with this part of the leg. Okay, and we like to be able to bring the shins up nice and high, or you can throw a front kick straight down the middle, hit with the ball of the foot. But it's basically boxing and kicking, you see.
It's a combination.
It sure is.
So when people go to watch the kickboxing and you see them that wear boxing gloves, a little bit, people can be really mystified as to what are these people doing, because they don't know which sport they're going to watch.
Mm-hmm. Well, they know they're watching a good sport when they're watching. They know they watch two athletes that are, as far as I'm concerned, are the ultimate in fitness. Okay, you know, training with the weight training that Gaston and myself do as well, and we've been training together with this in the last little while. I think putting the weights together with the fitness and the stretching, okay, combined, is the ultimate.
You know, we talked about kickboxing and everything else, how it goes, and we put a little piece together for you, and we're going to show it so people at home actually know what it's about, what the sport's about, how it is perceived by everybody. So I believe we're going to roll the tape right now, and you gentlemen can explain it as we watch it. Okay, Gaston?
Well, what we're doing here is an exhibition match, so it's a nice light contact. Dennis and I are just kind of moving around, throwing some techniques that, you know, look good for the audience, basically. A lot of the times, in a real fight situation, you won't throw so many spinning and flashy techniques. You'll try and keep the basics. Dennis is definitely a good fighter, where he's got lots of boxing background, and he's got the good, strong hands. Me, I'm kind of trying to move around a little bit and just kind of work some stuff and throw some flashy stuff, keep the audience going. Dennis is throwing some nice high kicks there, lots of movement, yeah.
About 50% is what we're going right there.
Yeah,
what did we have in the audience? We had probably
nice
7, 8
kick
other
there by
people in the
Dennis,
app.
spinning
Not bad.
effort.
Good spins as we were talking, very, very agile. And once again, we got to remind everybody, it's a live phone and talk show. Give us a call. You can talk to one of these two gentlemen you're watching right now on your screen, because the caliber of talent there is unbelievable. And for the viewers at home, no, I am not going down to the gym to spar with either one of these two gentlemen. That is right out of the question, so don't even think about that. But we talked documentaries. You did a documentary, Dennis, Kickboxers, for the
Yes, I did. Back in the
broadcast
70s, I did it with a fellow named Tony Morelli, a guy that Gaston has worked with. And it was about two fighters training for competition. And it was a half-hour documentary, and we did basically things that we do now, but right now we do them a lot better. So I would actually like to do it again. If the producers out there, are you listening to me?
You never know, he might be. But
he may be.
You know, he just could be. But Gaston, we talked about upcoming fights. What is the ultimate goal that you can reach besides where you're at right now? Is there like a world championship from where we're at?
Well, to be a world champion at the pro level, because I'm at an amateur level. I'm sponsored by Bushido's Martial Arts on King George and 78th. They help me with my equipment and help me with my sponsorship and everything, so as I can continue to train. But to step up to the next level, the pro level, to become a world champion as a pro, is definitely the next step.
What's the biggest difference between an amateur fighter and a professional fighter?
Pro fighters usually go more rounds. You pace yourself a little bit more. I've talked to some of the pro fighters, and a couple of the guys say it's a little bit easier to fight as a pro as it is to fight as an amateur. Because when you fight as an amateur, you go all out for the first 5 rounds and you just expend everything you have. But as a pro, you sit back, you pace yourself, you pick your shots, you're moving around, you're being a smarter fighter.
Yeah, no kidding. Got our first caller on the line. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great. Don't think I'm going to get into this martial arts stuff. What can we do for you, Todd?
Listen, I wanted to ask Gaston a couple questions.
Go ahead.
You've pretty much asked him everything as it is.
Well, you phoned in, so ask Gaston a question.
What sort of a diet do you have to follow? I know you guys both from the gym, so I mean I know that the bodybuilding thing is a little bit different from the fighting thing. But what sort of diet do you have to follow?
Hi Todd, how you doing? Usually try to keep a low-fat diet. Because we're doing a lot of cardio-type training, it's I'll eat a lot of proteins, a lot of carbohydrates. For me, like I say, because it's a high endurance type thing we're doing. I try to put a little extra fat into my diet and just try to eat a lot of everything. It depends on each individual, your metabolism and everything involved. I can get away with it a little bit more because we're doing very high intensity, a lot of running, a lot of rounds on the bags. But if you're into weightlifting or if you're just into getting into fitness, I would suggest a low-fat diet with lots of carbohydrates and proteins.
Yeah, I know Dennis trains you guys pretty hard, and I want to ask Dennis how his hand was doing.
How my hand is doing? It's not too bad. I'm still doing the thumb push-ups. What about you, Todd? You're going to try out this this thumb push-out routine?
Yeah, we want to get down to thumbs.
Well, you know, I don't think I can do the thumb push-ups.
Uh-huh.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll let you go because you got much to do. We got to get to our next caller,
Thanks,
Todd.
Todd.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Todd. We got our next caller in the line. Gil? Gil, are you there?
Gil's gone.
I think Gil. No, Gil's not there. Yeah, we talked about carbohydrates, intake you guys take. What about weights? You do a lot of weight training, bench press?
We're trying to get into it a little bit more right now. Dennis is really killing me down at Gators. He's a madman. I thought it was hard on the bags.
You're talking about the, you use the bag?
Speed bag, not so much. I like to try and work it to keep the coordination going and the timing and everything. But more the heavy bag. There's a top and bottom bag which is suspended by 2 bungee cords and the bag in the middle. Kind of move around that. That's really nice to move around because it works your head movement and your eye-hand coordination as well.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay.
We try to work on the fitness aspect. My philosophy always, if you're fitter than your opponent, okay, you will beat him in the long run. Okay, even if he's sometimes he's better than you. If your fitness is better, okay, you'll be able to win in the long run. And I think our fitness is at the best level when we fight, and it will be when we fight for this world title.
Okay, now, do you know the dates before we go?
We don't have a date on it yet, but it's late October, early November is what it will be.
So you keep us posted. Maybe we can come down and do something to help you guys out too.
Definitely.
Okay, good deal. Thank you guys for joining us, Gaston. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Dennis, thanks very much for coming on the show.
And thank you very much.
And I'm not going to try those. Might after the show, but not right now. Anyway, stay tuned. I want to thank these gentlemen. Stay tuned. We got more coming up right after this timeout.